San Francisco to Vietnam. It took 16 hours and a long, restless night, but we eventually made it, and united with our 15 friends to start our chaotic yet insanely fun adventure. Also, just to clarify, that's my sister, not my friend, so we technically had 16 people. Nevertheless, here's the gang. All of us. It's the only picture I found with all of us. Thanks, guys. So, with a group this large, we have a lot of stuff. I'd also like to mention that I took all the bags off the luggage carousel, so I should have been all muscly, but I'm not. I'd also like to mention that we lost one luggage. Thanks, Nate. Next, we loaded up the bus, got settled, took a couple pictures, and met our tour guide, V. So all we had to do now was weave through the 7.5 million motorbikes who aren't afraid of big buses or any cars, because they're literally inches away from my seat, and make it to Ying's house in one piece. So at this point we're about 5 minutes away from Ying's house, and in the next clip I'll show you our lunch. So we had this traditional lunch which was really good, really, really good, and some durian, which was really smelly but also really tasty.
Holy shit!
Gotta go this way. Day one of being in Vietnam. It's pretty hot. It's really hot.
I think we're sweating. I'm sweating.
We saw some.
It's really not that bad.
How do I see what it's recording? Oh yeah. So we saw some orphan kids today. That was pretty interesting. What do you think about the experience, Lauren?
It was pretty cool. Dinner cruise was overall a good experience. We got to see Saigon from a different perspective, and we learned a new song that we all probably hate now. That's it.
And then tomorrow we will be ziplining, so. Okay, so day two. It's a little hot.
Just a little.
Do you want me to carry your bag with you?
No.
Alright. Oh, here's your subway card. On a nice little golf cart, and we're going kind of fast. I hope there's bumps because we're sitting in front of this nice little bar, but that's about it. It's mad. No. Okay, I'm gonna put this back in the bag before I drop it. Okay.
We're dying at this point, but we finally made it to Paradise Cave, and right now we're going down into the cave, and there's so many people.
About a curfew, 'cause all that is stuck in my head. It's me and you, both speed and my heart is racing, but I'm not sure I wanna pace it, 'cause it only does this with you. Our bodies meet, I can feel the tension, move us into the next dimension. Let's just let our bodies be true. We make out for the thrill of it, mess around for the thrill of it. Don't stop now, never let this end. For the thrill of it, we can have it, no regrets.
After exploring this cave, we headed over to another cave and had a little lunch intermission. This lunch was really, really good, but everything on this trip was good as well.
We're going ziplining, then kayaking, and then into some cave. This is what it looks like. I guess we just gotta go up. Then are you excited? Is it on? Are you excited? Are you excited? Go. It's on.
Go it up, go it up.
Okay, let's go swim all the way over there where the helmets are. Go!
Hey, you're gonna get yelled at, Nate. Hi, okay. We're going.
Here.
No, okay.
Wow, look at the water. So nice. Nice water.
Oh, a crab.
What?
A what?
What?
Just kidding.
I'm gonna jump into the water right now.
How deep do you think it is? The butterflies look like bats, I swear. Don't
Man, this thing is nasty on my feet.
they? This is the mud part.
Let us wear shoes or anything. Whoa, look at the flamingo. The
What?
statue, look at a flamingo.
Aw. It kind of looks like a pelican though.
Yeah, pelican, yeah.
Or a goat.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a lot of water here.
what's, oh, incense.
The bats.
Phú?
Like cúng này nè.
What's, cúng?
Who's leading the lines?
Kristen is, because she's the bravest supposedly.
It's fucking bats in here.
I know, I hate bats. Booty.
Who you gonna call?
Go.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it okay?
Okay, these rocks are really sharp and they're called cat ears, but they're very sharp to watch.
And we're barefoot because they told us we had to, which is dumb, but whatever.
Do not pee in here.
So the mud is on the right here, so we're gonna go down through here and not in the water anymore.
Okay.
Oh,
There's a narrow in here. Okay, whoever fat cannot go in.
This doesn't look right.
Let's go down.
Oh my gosh.
So on your left, this is a wall, and on your right, this is a wall.
One up is also.
Why are you so slow?
I don't want to die. Oh my gosh, there's water.
Oh wait, okay, the walls are really sharp. Oh my gosh.
Actually? There's that one. This is.
What?
That's why you have hard hats. It's kind of cool.
Feel the mud. Feel it. Feel
You
it.
can definitely get hit. Oh my gosh, that's a bat.
Shut up.
It's a bat.
Where?
It was up there. I'm watching.
all gonna have to go there at some point. Uh-oh.
I heard that fuck.
Sorry. You guys are bad. Say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Bye. Almost there. You can see the light. Uh-oh, it's like low battery.
How do you feel about it? You think you're quote entangled. How do you feel? Okay, so it was gassy.
So after that pretty wild adventure, took a 6-hour bus ride, then took a pretty long nap, so I'll just call it a day here.
So day 3, I have a fan, nobody else does, so that's a flex. We had some really good oolong passion fruit tea.
What? No! Let's go! Me first!
I don't even know where we're going, but we're going somewhere. Yeah! We're going like 10 miles per hour maybe. This is chaos. So many people. Pig nose. And ears. Intestines? I think we should get a smoothie. Is it good?
How many now? It's not icy cold, but good.
So after the coconut, we headed back to the bikes. I also like to mention that I got a pretty cool hat.
Okay.
So now we're entering the Imperial City. It's home to the Nguyen dynasty, and they actually lived in it till like the mid-1900s. So now we're going to the royal tomb of Can Gio, and I believe he was the last emperor, and it took about 11 years to build.
Salt.
That might be an artichoke. You never know. Right there, swastika symbol.
So this
Similar
symbol,
to office card, yeah.
It's all mosaic, so it's ceramics, and then I think she said that they break the ceramics and then get these little pieces. And the pieces are used right here to make these intricate little designs, which is really impressive because it's like the whole place is covered in it.
I'd also like to mention that it was probably like 100 degrees and it was really humid, so we tried to get back as soon as we can, but we also needed some pictures.
No.
So after getting everyone on the bus, we started heading back to Hue, and we had some pretty annoying sounds throughout the trip from our bus driver. Next up is Thien Mu. It's probably one of the most iconic landmarks in Hue, and we're gonna take a dragon boat to get there because it's on the banks of this Perfume River.
Accidents over there.
And of course, we forgot something again. This time it was a phone, but we got it back.
Look at that sweat.
Oh my. What are you doing? No spying allowed. Oh my. North Korean or something?
After dinner, we had to go back, so this is the point where I'm trying to run across the street so I don't get hit by any motorbikes. Kinda terrifying. With a group this large, we literally took over the entire restaurant. Also, Jill got a pretty sweet picture like a local carrying the fruits. So now we're headed off to the silk factory, where we literally spent over 4 hours shopping and looking at silk products.
Oh.
You know how we spent a lot of time there? We also spent a lot of money and took a lot of pictures and obviously bought a lot of stuff. After shopping for like 4 hours, some of us headed over to the old town of Hoi An and saw a whole bunch of lanterns, and it was really a sight to see. Afterwards, we went to the wrong hotel and then went to the right hotel, luckily, and slept there for the night. So since we slept pretty early, we woke up really early, 5 a.m. to be exact, and we went to the beach. To our surprise, there were a bunch of locals walking around, taking a shower in the ocean, and then doing some Zumba. So after walking on the beach, we went back to the hotel, had some breakfast, and then headed to the airport to go back to Saigon. And then we took a bus all the way to a fisherman village, and here's proof that I did not enjoy that bus ride. But it was really cool getting on the ferry because so many motorbikes were on it. This part of the ferry only took like 10 minutes, and then we were on a very bumpy road for the rest of the ways. After that, we went on some motorbikes and headed to dinner.
It's little octopuses and snails, clams. Oh my gosh, it's so mantis.
After dinner, we went to someone's home, slept on some air mattresses, and called it a night. At this point, we were stopped by the communist police and were issued a ticket saying that we were on the wrong side of the highway, even though we weren't. So we just gave them $50 and kinda left. Next thing on our agenda was getting on a boat and going to the floating market, which was really, really cool. But I think it's just another one of those tourist attractions because all we saw were tour boats just like this and just a bunch of fruits and not really many locals.
This is the Huong River.
I could stay awake till the
Dạ, nhà mình có bút giùm không ạ?
So after spending about an hour at the floating market, we headed back on the mainland, got on the bus, and then headed back to Saigon. But of course, we had to take a little break, so we stopped at a restaurant on the way there and took a few photos. So after that pit stop, we continued driving for another 3 or 4 hours, and then headed to the Saigon night market. At this point, we were kind of grumpy, or at least I was, but my spirits went up when I got to go on a motorbike and see Saigon from a motorbike perspective, and get some boba. Yo! And this was the point when some of us got a little too drunk and decided to break the rules to jump in the pool, and we stayed there till the security guards came. So that was the end of our adventure. Also, all hail food.